What is up, everyone? I'm back. I know I haven't uploaded like in forever. I understand, but I kind of want to make this video into kind of a rant, and I got this inspired by a guy named Pegasus on YouTube, and I was watching his second channel, More Pegasus, and it was a video about how teachers have to deal with Gen A and Gen Z students, how they're being obnoxious, they're ill-mannered, they're not, what students used to be. And that got me thinking, well, I have a few experiences. I think I can have a go at this. So, the first thing I want to tackle is the phone problem. It is no secret that everyone has an addiction to the phone. All right, I have one. Uh, you know, my mom has one. My stepdad has one. My sister, my brother, my other sister. Everyone has one. Even my grandma. All right, and another thing is vaping. There's no secret. We know you vape, and yet they try to act innocent. It's like, oh no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Me. It's like, bro, I know it's you. I guarantee you. I open your backpack, there's 5 of them. Because you're addicted. And, I think, like, another factor of people being so dumb and ill-mannered, disrespectful, is because they are looking up to influencers that are essentially what they would call a degenerate, and such as like people like Neon, Aiden Ross, people like that. And I'm not trying to spark controversy, but I'm just speaking what's on my mind. It's, while yes, a lot of things can be blamed on social media and what they are being taught, but at the same time, it's also the parents' fault. Because there's a such thing called soft parenting, such as soft parenting, which is essentially when you don't hit your kid, and plus you give them an iPad or something to become an iPad kid. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was something called, and I was, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I was definitely an iPad kid. But I was taught to be respectful and responsible for my actions. And like if I were to act out, my mom would obviously smack me. She wasn't soft, but she was definitely not as hard on me as she was with my other siblings. Now, there were certain times where I did something and I absolutely deserved that beating. And honestly, there's a couple of experiences I'd rather not put out there that I had, especially with that involved, like with a few people who I trusted, who I thought, who were my family, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm not gonna probably never get into it because that's something private, but I might, But enough about that. Yeah, yeah, and I experienced my fair share of people being obnoxious, and being essentially just be a bunch of little shitheads. I'm just gonna say how it is. They're just a bunch of little shitheads out there. Um, there was, there was a kid who sat right next to me in English. He was constantly hot. He he tried to hide it because he had like poofy curly hair, and he was a ginger. Uh, well, that wasn't necessarily important, but you know, he he um he was constantly high. He was, just he barely got any work done. Basically, essentially, probably failed the whole year, along with a few other people who. And I'm not gonna be a narc because where I live, it's a small old town that happens to be ghetto. Ghetto as hell. Now we're no LA, but you know, like just earlier when I was trying to record a video, like this same video right now, I heard like 10 gunshots, and yeah. So essentially, there's now I'm not sure if there are actual gangs here, because apparently in school last year, I'm not gonna say these names, but I don't know, man. Like you, it's always like the kids that always seem to have an easier life than you. Like obviously, I don't know what's going on at home. I don't know anything, but it's always the kids that seem like, you know, like there's like a group of kids who say, "Oh, my mom would beat my ass. She would just beat me," and yet they would act like thugs, like saying, "Oh man, I know how it is being in the trenches," freaking doing this and throwing up Crip signs and blood signs, stuff like that. And it's always these kids who always have like golden chains that like their grandma gave them, or like they always have like these nice freaking Gucci, freaking all this stuff, like designer stuff. Some of them have like shiesties. And it's always like the bad kids who are always having like that seem like to have a better life. Like there was one kid who acted like a thug, and he was talking about like, man, I drive around in Mercedes. It's like, cause I'm gangster like that. I'm like, bro, I never met a gangster who drove around in Mercedes. I knew a gangster who drove in a Cadillac, but other than that, that was like the nicest car. I never met a gangster who drove anything more than a Toyota Tacoma, to be honest. Like it's always like I always see gangsters, like a genuine gangsters, like people who are from Blood and Crips, who are in like these old cars. They're in trucks. They're in like old cars, and like this motherfucker. You're telling me that this little punk ass kid is talking about driving around in a Mercedes, being a gangster? Like, homie uses TikTok slang. I never, again, like there's a few gangsters that live around here, but they're respectful people. Like I saw one help a old woman to her doorstep, helped her with her groceries, and like these are like the gangsters that I see. While yes, they commit crimes, yes, they do like certain things that are are certainly dangerous. Shootouts, have like multiple guns, who have people, but they're also the same people who are respectful to the elderly, especially because I went to one Padres game in my entire life, and there was there was Crips, right? Yeah, they were Crips, and they helped this old man and his wife like upstairs. They helped them carry their bags, their blankets, stuff like that, because it gets cold in San Diego. I don't live in San Diego. I live in Hemet. But my point is, stop that acting like a gangster. You don't want to go down that route. Believe me, I knew a guy who went down that route. He was something else. Like, he was respectful. Yes, he had a daughter, but stuff happens. Stuff happens. Uh, you know, and all I'm thinking is, clearly, like, these people are getting this newfound confidence, and like these streamers, these influencers who act like gangsters, but in reality they're just a bunch of soy boy pussies in fucking Miami or some shit like that. And I'm like, dude, no, just no, stop. Like I had every reason, well, maybe not every reason, but I had every reason to snap. But what I have learned is, I snap, I paid for the price. So, and I end up thinking, like, I won't have a future, I won't have anything. So, and this is one of the few things that are oftentimes looked down upon. And it's that I'm a greedy bastard. But my greed kind of helped me through my I don't want to say undiagnosed sociopath, because like I have like those kind of tendencies, but I'm like, get those thoughts out of here. who would think about that? I would think like really messed up things, but I'm like, wait, who would think that? Not me. Because I'd rather be a greedy bastard than a bastard who goes around killing people. Because at least when I'm greedy, I'm fair. Because like what I want to do is I want to join the real world. The real world, that something that Andrew Tate put out. It's these online courses for $50 a month. Even though he says $49, but it's $50. Because it's $49.99. It's round up at this point. Just make it $50. Right? I'm very close to my goal to getting $50. Because I'm just gonna say right now, I don't have a job. I'm 15 years old. I'm in high school. I'm a sophomore in high school. But my school cannot, they're not telling me how to get a job. And they said that I cannot get a job because of my grades. I'm like, what's wrong with my grades? They're like, well, you have a 1C in chemistry. I'm not really good at chemistry. I barely understand it. I barely understand it. And I'm like, well, like, why is a C? A C's passing. And in fact, on the rubric, or like the rubric on that I was given, that a D plus, a high D plus, or a low C minus is passing in that class. And they're like, yeah, but we don't want your grades to drop. I'm like, bro, why are you complaining? Like, I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to gain this experience that I am required. They're like, no, we cannot give you a job, and we won't teach you how to get one. Especially because when you're under 16, or under 18, I should say, in California, you have to go and fill out this form, which I think I have somewhere. Hold on. Never mind, I don't have it anymore. I filled out the form and I get rejected, and I'm not being told why. I tried, like I researched this whole thing. I'm trying to get a job so I can earn the $50, join the real world, make the businesses, make my life better, and most importantly, make my family's life better. Because my family, especially before me, my mom, she worked real hard to get where she is. I mean, now she works at Amazon, uh, in the warehouses, stocking, like in the thing, kind of like a forklift, or no, not forklift, where they go up 60, no, not 60, 50 stories high, and they're on these like little vehicles, and my mom has arthritis, and my stepdad has something wrong with his knee, especially his knee, because it's bone on bone. There's no cartilage, and now he has to wear a knee brace, and my mom has to wear a wrist brace. I'm trying to convince my mom, like, can you give me a few chores that I can do so I can earn $30, real quick and easy, so I could join the real world, earn the money, and help my mom out, have her retire. The goal is have her retire before, before her next birthday, before she turns 45. That is my goal, to retire my mom and my stepdad before they even reach their next birthday. And that is going to be my goal for how long it takes, because as the son of my mom, or the last son of my mom, I feel that, like, sure, my brother, he'll help out, he'll like help out with dinner, or my sister will be like, hey, you want to do this? My other sister, I don't know what she does. I guess she just brings marijuana to my mom, and hangs out with her granddaughter. So I'm trying to save up this money so I can take care of my mom, take care of my family, and that's all I want in my life, is that, like, sure, I want to do YouTube, but if this doesn't work, and I know that that's not really the way I should be thinking if I want to make this work, is that if this doesn't work, then, might as well pick up a 9 to 5, and just like, no, I'm going to be successful, and when I'm being successful, I'm going to do this, kind of for fun. And that's like the whole goal now. Like, at first I just want to be a Twitch star, YouTuber, basically what every 5-year-old wanted, back in 2016. And for the longest time, I always wanted to become a YouTuber. Like, when everyone else said, like, something, like, I wanted to do this for, like, the longest time, and now that I'm able to do this, like, I just want to do this and become successful at something else, rather than just rely on this, because, like I said, some people are lucky, some people are not, and I could be lucky or I could not be lucky. I just now realized I got off track from my rant, but I'm not just saying this so I could gain sympathy. I just want to show that, like, I am a traditional Gen Z who I want my mom to retire and live a long, fulfilling life. Make sure she doesn't have any regrets. Because while, yes, there's certain points in my life where, like, I just want to give up. But I would snap out of that real quick, because I would oftentimes think about my family. Like, how would they feel if I were to just give up? They would probably feel horrible, and That's why I want to join the real world, make the money, invest in those companies, and make my life better, make my mom's life better, especially because even though as my siblings say, like, she's not, the saint that I think she is, but they also have to remember that she was young and she didn't know how to be a parent. And she made some mistakes. Some mistakes are unforgivable, and some other mistakes are just, you know, you're not gonna be perfect every single time, but that's what I owe my mom. While she didn't beat me like the others, but she smacked sense into me if I acted out of place, and I just want to return the favor. I feel like I just make this whole thing into more of my goals, my life, but I just want to say, like, I am not like the rest of my generation. I'm actually fairly smart because I took an IQ test and I scored 145, which is really good. But I want to just want to live life how I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to break the cycle, I guess, of constant brokenness, I guess. That's kind of like how I feel most of my life. It's like there was always a sense of brokenness. And I guess, maybe it's me when I break the cycle, I don't want to keep up the same cycle of constant depression, constant anger. That's just something I want to do. Which also brings up my next point. What was my next point? Crap. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're Gen A or Gen Z, you're watching this video, be a better person. Become something that most people think you're not supposed to. Also, now I remember my point. My point is, back to the whole school thing. I know I'm bouncing all over the place,